There comes a moment, quiet, almost invisible, when life begins to whisper instead of roar. The mornings arrived the same way they always did, but the world outside seems to have changed its rhythm. The laughter of children echoes faintly in memory now. The house feels bigger, the calls less frequent, the calendar emptier. You wake up early, not because you must, but because your body has learned that silence greets the dawn before anyone else does. And in that silence, there's space. Space to think, to wonder, to ache a little. You sit with your coffee, the same brand you've used for years, and you realize that for the first time in decades, no one truly needs you right this second. Not like before. It's a strange kind of freedom, and a strange kind of loss. For so long, your days were filled with noise. Children's schedules, deadlines, family meals, conversations about what's next. Now, next feels uncertain. It used to be clear. You used to have a map, the next promotion, the next school year, the next family holiday. Now you stand in a place where the map ends and the compass spins. People call this getting older, but it's more than that. It's standing face to face with time itself, seeing your reflection not just in the mirror, but in the years behind you. You notice lines that weren't there before, scars that tell stories, eyes that still shine but carry weight. And inside, a quiet voice begins to ask, "Is this it? Is this what's left?" It's not despair. It's something deeper, a yearning for meaning beyond what has already been lived. Because beneath the calm exterior, there's still a pulse, a fire that refuses to die even when covered by years of responsibility, routine, and self-doubt. Maybe you've told yourself, "I'm too old for this. Too old to start something new. Too old to change. Too old to dream." But somewhere deep inside, a part of you disagrees. That small, defiant spark still whispers, "No, not yet. Not yet finished. Not yet defined by the past. Not yet done learning, loving, creating, living." Because what they never told you when you were younger is that the middle, this time in life that seems uncertain, can be the most powerful chapter of all. It's the moment when you stop living for others and begin to live for yourself. When you understand that peace is not found in what you have, but in who you have become. There's a myth about time, that it takes things from us, that it's an enemy, stealing our youth, our energy, our opportunities. But the truth is, time doesn't take, it reveals. It strips away what's temporary to show what's real. You start to see people differently. You begin to realize who stayed, who mattered, and who never truly did. And maybe, just maybe, you begin to see yourself for the first time without the titles, the roles, the noise. That's the silence of time. And it's in that silence that you finally hear your own voice. At first, that voice may sound tired. It might speak of regrets. "I should have tried that. I should have traveled. I should have said yes. I should have said no." But beneath the regret lives wisdom, a kind of wisdom that only comes when you've lived long enough to see that pain, loss, and mistakes were never endings. They were teachers. You've earned those lessons. You've earned every scar, every memory, every moment of doubt that made you pause and breathe again. And maybe that's the secret. This isn't the end of your story. This is the pause between chapters, the silence before the music swells again. Look at your hands, the same hands that once held your children, The same hands that signed contracts, cooked dinners, built things, carried burdens. They've done more than you ever gave them credit for. And your heart, oh, your heart, it's been broken, mended, stretched, and yet it still beats with strength that only time can forge. You see, life was never supposed to be about keeping everything the same. It was about evolving. It was about becoming. And even if you feel tired, even if the mirror reflects someone you barely recognize, there is a truth no reflection can erase. You are still here. And while you're here, there's more to live, more to give, more to become. Because the world may try to tell you that your moment has passed, but the world is wrong. The truth is, this moment, right now, is when your story begins again. Imagine for a second that life is a long movie. The first half was about building, careers, families, homes, stability. But the second half? That's the story the audience remembers. That's when the character rises from doubt, faces the mirror, and chooses to fight again. Not because they have to, but because they want to. That's what the silence of time is preparing you for. The chance to rise again, to rediscover what moves you, to prove, to yourself more than anyone, that your spirit hasn't dimmed, only deepened. Maybe you won't run as fast as before. Maybe you won't climb the same mountains. But what if? What if now you finally see the view clearly? What if this time you live not to prove something, but to feel everything? So, as the coffee cools and the day unfolds quietly before you, ask yourself, what if this silence is not emptiness, but invitation? An invitation to look at life with new eyes, to forgive yourself for the years you lost chasing perfection, to understand that it's never too late to change direction, to create, to begin. Maybe it's time to paint again, or to travel, or to write that book you always dreamed of, or simply sit by the window and let gratitude fill the space where regret once lived. Because every breath is a second chance. Every sunrise is proof that life still believes in you. The silence of time is not punishment. It's grace. A pause that lets you listen closely to your own soul. And if you listen carefully enough, you'll hear it say, "You are not finished. You are just beginning."
If this video inspired you, leave a like and tell me in the comments, what unique skill have you developed over the years? I want to know your story, and maybe it becomes our next video. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, that it's never too late to start over, share this video. Sometimes a video like this is exactly what someone needs to take the first step toward a new life.